what it is, what's happening. So as you can see, it's getting dark out. Just got that thing back together about 2 hours ago. It pushed the head gasket out, and it was a total fiasco. So I had to drag it out because it was out back behind the garage, moved 5 vehicles just to get that piece of junk up here at the shop because I physically couldn't push it. So tore it down this evening and put a head gasket on and put it back together. You know, it's a Briggs V-twin. I forget what size it is, but it's just wore out. I mean, I've had the thing for 4 years, and it's always had a problem on this side of the motor. About 4 years ago, it dropped the valve on this side, and it bent the valve, but it didn't put a hole in the piston. And this thing actually has, and I don't know why Briggs & Stratton did this, but I can't remember which side. I can't remember if the intake push rod was aluminum and the exhaust was steel. I can't remember which way it went. But anyway, what happened was, I'm trying to think, I think it bent the intake valve. So it must have had aluminum push rod on the intake. The little ball on the end of the push rod fell off. The push rod fell out. Dropped the valve, bent the valve. Didn't hurt the piston. So I put a valve in it. And then I found out that it had steel push rod on the exhaust side. So I bought 2 steel push rods, got rid of that aluminum piece of crap, and it's been fine ever since. But this side of the motor has always had some kind of issue since I've owned it. So not surprised. I torqued the head, but I mean, that was 3 years ago. So it's back together, it's running. It actually doesn't run bad, it just uses oil. And of course the charging system quit working, but that quit working a while ago. So right now I got it on a battery charger. I think what I'm going to do, because I just don't want to spend a lot of money on this machine, is I think I'm going to rig up a GM alternator. I think I'm going to make a bracket, mount it here, and run the belt off the shaft. It's a little hokey, little hillbilly, but I'm not tearing the motor down to get to the charging system. I just don't want to spend any more money. I'd rather spend maybe an hour rigging up a used GM alternator that I got laying around and go buy a belt. I really just want to buy a new mower, but times that we live in is just not, I don't think, the best time to make a big purchase. So I haven't decided yet. I might just still pull the trigger and just go down and buy a brand new John Deere. Who knows? But for right now, I got to patch this thing up because if you don't stay on top of the grass here, you're in trouble. So this F-350, and this is what happens. You know, I'm in the middle of a job and then this piece of crap's got to break down. You know, simple, going to cut the grass, hour and a half, 2 hours, be done cutting the grass. No, I got to, you know, spend 3 hours getting the piece of junk from out back, then spend an evening fixing it. So yeah, it's kind of wearing me out a little bit. So the 5.4 is out of this truck. It's here. It's all stripped down. I've got to switch over my exhaust manifold, motor mounts and all, get them on the new motor, and finally get this thing set back in here. My S10 on the lift here. I've got all the brakes done. I still got to do an exhaust manifold, put a front bumper on. I've got some trans lines to do. A couple other little things. I got to get it ready for inspection so the man can, he's going to start driving it. Something cheaper on gas than the gas hog. But selling stuff on Marketplace. It's been very interesting here lately. People, for some reason here lately, just love to do this. And they're so uneducated, they make themselves look like a fool. So I've got this 86 Toyota pickup for sale on Marketplace. I got it on there for $1,600. Now I put in the ad, basically it's a parts truck. But I got in the ad, no motor, no trans, you know. I'm describing what's missing so you don't think you're driving all the way out here for a full truck. It's not a full truck. It's got a good title. It's got a good cab. It's got a good bed. It's no different than you're buying a 46 Ford truck that's a parts truck. This just happens to be 86 Toyota. But this little 86 Toyota has got one hell of a nice bed on it. 30 years ago, these beds were known to rot out and fall off. This one, it's got no rust at the seam, where they all rot out. They rot out real bad where they're spot welded in the center here. No rust. It's got a few dings, but I'd rather have dents than rust. You know, the cab's not bad, but again, it's a parts truck. Or if you want to spend the time to put it together, put it together. But the uneducated people on Marketplace crack me up. You know, one guy's telling me, good luck with your box of crayons. That's fine. There's over 70 emails in my inbox over this truck. Now, as of right this second, I got 2 people who want to send a deposit, which come look at the truck in person before you send me a deposit, because you're not going to drive all the way down here and go, I'm going to give you $500. I already gave you $100. That's not going to happen. So I want you to come look at it, because I'm not going to take a deposit and then you get down here and we start haggling over, you know, is it going to be $1,000 or is it going to be $500? Because it's not leaving for $500. I know what these beds are worth. And a good friend of mine, he's a Toyota guy. We know what these things are worth. But the uneducated people on Marketplace with their smart aleck comments, just, you know, I could care less. But there's one clown on there that lived down the street from me when I was younger. He's a little bit older than me. He was such a jerk off 30 years ago. And it's nice to know some people still stayed a jerk off. This guy was a loser 30 years ago. He was a loser. You know, he was one of them guys, I hang out at the firehouse. That's all you did. Just stop. Well, he's still a loser. He's got to run his mouth and comment. And he's still commenting. It's like, dude, give it a rest. But it's just amazing. But you got to have thick skin to sell in there. I could care less. Keep commenting, because all it does is keep my ad fresh. So look, holler at your boy. Keep it reals. I know some of you guys enjoy my update videos. There'll be more. Holler at you.